Hi, it's Vicky with Vicky Woo Marketing, and Google has done it again. So let's talk about the latest Google search engine algorithm core update and how it may impact your search results. This update happened around the beginning of May, and I've been watching my clients' website traffic since, and of course doing other research. To check your own traffic, what you want to do is go into Google Analytics and under Audience Overview, I suggest you do a view of April 1 to the end of May, and then also run a comparison both for the previous period, which is going to cover February and March, and the previous year, which will cover April to May of 2019. You can easily do this with the presets in Google. It's just literally check marking a box and choosing your period to do a comparison. Switch it to the week or month setting so that you're not seeing all of those little daily up and down squiggles. I want you to look more at a trend. I also don't want you to look only at data right during the update period or since the update period, because it's pretty common for some traffic swings to happen right around the time and right after an update. The algorithm tends to kind of steady out, settle itself down, and what I'm wanting you to look at really is your overall trend. Hopefully, your traffic has gone up. When I checked my own website traffic and those of my clients, what I've seen is that all of their traffic are up. Some of it has tripled since last year, obviously not only because of this Google algorithm update, but that's a good thing to see. All of them did, though. If I just looked at those few days of the updates, they had up and down. So all of our clients have seen some increase across the board. Of course, we're always making sure to follow the newest SEO best practices, and those are the things that we actually teach you how to do in our new SEO Accelerator program. You can find that right on our website. We also know that traffic isn't everything, and it isn't the first metric you should measure and follow unless you don't have any other goal in your business. This particular core update was also preceded by a change in the local SEO algorithms in April. So that's also had an impact on search results, especially around Google Maps. From my research, it appears that some of the industries seeing the biggest impact in a positive way are travel, real estate, health, pets and animals, and people and society. If you're in one of those industries, you definitely should see an overall increase in the trend of your traffic. May not be a huge traffic spike, but overall upward trend overall. I cannot talk today. One of the myths that we always hear is that if your website has a high DA, which is domain authority, you won't be impacted by these type of updates because you're already good. But that isn't true, and we've definitely seen that this round as some very well-known websites, some with traffic exceeding 1 million visitors a month, such as LinkedIn and the New York government, have seen a dip in their traffic. Some of the traffic patterns have also been impacted by the pandemic. For example, news sites seem to be getting more traffic, as do online communities and game-related sites. Makes sense for some of those other ones that we talked about just a second ago, pets. People are home with their pets, so it seems likely that some of the impact may have been from the pandemic, so it's unclear if the increases we're seeing are because of the core update or because people are at home and they're visiting these types of sites, or a combination of both. That will take a long time to bear out and see, but in general, if you're not in one of those top few industries, you want to make sure that you still saw a traffic increase. There's some specific steps you can take to help you. First, go take a look at our new SEO Accelerator program. This program, we're opening another round of this program very soon, and we cap the number of participants each session so that we can provide more one-on-one training and support. So you'll want to get on the wait list to find out more information when the session opens. We teach you all of the newest and best strategies in this program. It's the best white hat SEO strategies that we've seen proven to work over the past couple of years. What's best about it is we don't focus only on those confusing technological pieces of SEO that you have to hire out half the time because you don't know how to do it. Yeah, those are important, but that isn't where the focus of last several of Google's updates have been aimed. These are really encompassing some of the best general marketing and content practices that improve your bottom line overall. And if they're carefully coordinated, they can work in partnership with that technical piece of SEO. And now you need both. So even if you aren't doing those really technical pieces of SEO, or maybe you're having someone else do the techie pieces, these strategies will still help you. And if you are doing those techie pieces, these strategies will still help you. They're that important, not just to your SEO, but to your business in general. Second thing you can do is update your old content. There's a very focused and strategic process that we use and that we teach you in that program to have you go through to update your old content into pillars or categories based upon user intent. Updating old content in general is still a good practice. You hear a lot of talk about content marketing and how you need to regularly be producing new content, and this is still true. It keeps your website new and updated, which Google likes. It keeps informative content in front of your visitors, which is important for you. Yet one of the best strategies that most SEO agencies that focus more only on the technical side, what they fail to do or to teach you is that you also need to be regularly updating and refreshing your old content. SEO or content strategies in general shouldn't be a write it once and forget it strategy. We teach you how to prioritize this existing content update so that you start to work in the places where you'll be more likely to see a bigger result, and walk you through how to edit this content so that you actually flow a visitor through from whatever page they land on and they're reading all the way into converting into a paying customer. That's the thing that helps your business more than simply getting traffic. There's a strategy to this that works hand in hand with your other SEO strategies, and it's actually a very important update that Google has made, not at this May 2020 update, but in the past year. And this also means that other search engines will be following along as well. Eventually, if they haven't done it yet, you know they will, because it's a good practice. What you do is you use a gap analysis of your competitors' content to fill out your thin content. This is your next step. We have a 5-step process that we walk you through to take a piece of your existing content, research your competitors, and see where the gaps are that they aren't filling. And then you edit that thin content to specifically fill that gap. When you're filling out this type of thin content, and that's pages that don't have a lot of text on them, basically, you also consider making it friendly either for the Google answer box and or voice search. Those two are a couple of the newer Google updates that your content needs to consider when you're pushing it out and posting it. We discuss these two pieces in more detail in articles on our website, and plus we walk you through the exact how-to strategy in our new SEO Accelerator. Another piece you want to do is, yes, you do need to fix your technical SEO errors. While we don't always have you focus on the technical side of SEO first, there are some SEO errors that can be pretty critical to your site in a bad way. One example that I've actually seen multiple times with clients who come to us needing SEO help is that they have settings in their robot.txt file that actually prevent search engines like Google and Bing and some of the smaller ones from being able to crawl and index their sites. That means it won't show up in search. Their web developer had put those settings in there. In one case, I know for sure it's because they weren't actually a web developer and didn't know what they were doing. It was someone that was helping a family member set up a website, which is great and wonderful, and they were researching a lot online. They found those settings somewhere, but they didn't understand what the settings meant, and they just put them in the file. Another time, I think that the web developer did it on purpose. It can be a strategy. When they were setting up the website live so that team and staff and the people that needed to could go in and review it and look for changes and go back and forth, rather than doing it on a staging site. This is one of the practices you can use, and you put that content in your robots.txt file to block the search engines while it's in the process of updating and before it goes live. Usually the web developer goes in and then deletes those settings once you're live so that you can be found in search, but they didn't do it in this case. I don't know if the developer just forgot, if they didn't actually know what they were doing. Maybe they handed it off to someone else who didn't know they needed to go in and check that file. Who knows? It can happen. But these kind of technical SEO errors can actually happen to any site. Now, LinkedIn is a site I mentioned that has seen a traffic dip since this core update. But it also turns out that a large part of them, they were actually missing from search results for a couple of days. It was likely because they had these same type of settings in their robot.txt file to disallow search engines from crawling. They have theirs set and it says request ability to crawl our site, but they have to manually whitelist the crawler URLs, and those can actually change. And Google might have done some changes to that during this update, and it kept LinkedIn from appearing in search results for a few days. So that one little file alone can cause you a lot of problems if it's not set up right. There's other technical errors that do need to be fixed for your SEO. And if you don't know what you need to fix, we run a free SEO audit for you. And we outline what issues you have and kind of how critical each one is. Those audits are free. I'll drop a link down in the description below. Or you can always visit our website, vickiwoo.us, and you can find the free resources tab in the menu and find the free SEO audit there. These types of audits you actually need to run regularly, or little issues can creep in over time that then add up and you're not aware of it until you suddenly have a drop in your traffic. And this is why we do those SEO updates regularly for our clients that we provide ongoing SEO or website services for. Let's talk real quick about recovering from a core update. It's important to understand that a core update isn't updating just one ranking factor. And most people, we can't even tell you exactly what the ranking factors are or how much weight they carry because Google keeps that pretty secret. Although they do tell you the best practices, and they're very open about that. If you've been negatively impacted by a core update and saw a drop in your traffic that stayed dropped, it didn't go up and down a couple days and then kind of even out and stay steady. We're talking a drop that has persisted. You likely won't see your rankings improve again until the next core update, if that one. These updates usually come 3 to 4 times a year, but don't worry, all is not lost if you've seen a traffic decline. It just means that you have time to implement some of those improvements, but you want to get on them quickly because anything you do in the couple weeks right before an update probably won't reflect. So you do need to get on it pretty quickly and start working towards that, but don't worry because you do have some time to put in the work. SEO requires a long-term strategy. It is not a short-term fix, and if anyone tells you it is, they are lying to you. They may do you some lead generation ads and tell you they're getting you SEO. That is not the same thing. SEO is a organic strategy, and paid advertising is a paid strategy. If you have a lot of technical SEO errors on your website, Making those fixes will usually result in an increase of your rankings and traffic in the short term, right when you make those fixes. You'll get the uptick, and that uptick will level out. It may keep carrying you up a bit, but short term, you make the fixes, you do see a short-term impact. But you can't stop there. You need to develop a long-term SEO strategy. I've seen cases where sites that felt a really significant drop due to one of the core updates that really was known to kind of impact that industry in particular. They started working through all the improvements they needed and finally saw the uptick in traffic resume about a year later. This type of long-term strategy, I know it's not what most of you want to hear. We're a technology-based culture and we all want immediate results and immediate gratification. But it can be the reality. Keep in mind though, if they hadn't been making these improvements all along, their traffic may have continued to decline. Instead, it kind of held steady, and then with this May 2020 update, they've seen that increase in traffic go again. Without those updates, they could have dropped down to near zero. Long-term strategy is worth it because it can take care of small problems along the way, and then eventually snowball starts happening, and you'll see usually an uptick in your traffic again. The best advice, and this is exactly what Google will tell you, is to keep producing quality content and continue with consistent improvements to your site and your entire online presence. These are the same strategies we cover in our new SEO Accelerator because it's not just the plain old technology pieces that you need to focus on anymore for SEO. That will no longer get you there. Again, you can check out more information about that new SEO Accelerator and join the waitlist to be notified when our next round opens pretty soon. On our website, vickiwoo.us, you'll find it right there. And while you're there, if you have any marketing questions, you can always drop your questions down below in the comment discussion area or on our website. Bottom right, you'll find a chat bubble and you can ask your question there. We'll try to answer you directly, or we may also use your question on an upcoming episode. While you're here, check out our other videos and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss the latest marketing tips.